The documents were already signed. The office was already being redecorated. His name had been quietly removed from the company directory. He just didn't know it yet. Marcus had spent 6 years building Nexlane from a spare bedroom desk and a laptop with a cracked screen. No investors. No trust fund. No safety net. Just a guy who believed, against all logic, that he could build something real. By the time he was 31, Nexlane had a 12-person team, 3 major enterprise clients, and was clearing just under $2 million a year. He'd done it the ugly way, missed birthdays, skipped vacations, eaten more ramen than any adult should admit to. His parents had watched it all from a polite distance. They were proud of him, or at least they said they were. But there was always a quiet asterisk in their praise. A small but buried under the surface of every compliment. You're doing well. But your sister has real business training now. His sister, Dana, had just finished her MBA from a top-ranked university. She was sharp, charismatic, and very good at walking into rooms like she already owned them. Marcus thought those were great qualities. He invited her on board as head of strategy. He was genuinely excited to have family involved. He thought it was the beginning of something meaningful, a real family legacy, built by 2 people who actually cared about each other. It was the beginning of something. Just not what he imagined. Within 8 months, Dana had restructured 2 departments without informing him. She'd hired 2 of her former classmates directly, bypassing Marcus's approval process entirely. She'd started CCING their parents on internal company emails, a small gesture, easy to dismiss, but one that Marcus noticed every single time. And somehow, gradually, she had built a quiet coalition of 3 team members who reported to her first and Marcus second. The weekly meetings started feeling different. Decisions Marcus thought he'd made would get quietly revised later. Initiatives he hadn't approved would appear in project trackers. New vendors appeared on invoices he hadn't signed off on. He noticed. He asked Dana about it twice. She smiled both times and said she was just trying to help. She said the company needed stronger structure. She said he was too deep in the weeds to see the big picture. He wanted to believe her, because she was his sister, and wanting to believe family is something most people do for a long time before they finally stop. He stopped in November. His parents had invited him over for dinner. He assumed it was just dinner, his mom's pot roast, some catching up, maybe a football game in the background. He showed up in a hoodie. His father slid a document across the table before the food was even served. It was a formal letter. Professionally typed, legal language, clean margins. A proposal to transfer operational control of Nexlane to Dana, effective the following quarter. Framed as a succession plan. His name was listed once, in the section describing what he would receive in return: a modest consulting fee and a minority stake that had been quietly diluted while he wasn't watching. Someone had paid a lawyer to draft this. His own parents had paid a lawyer to write a document to remove him from his own company. His mother spoke first. Her voice was calm. Reasonable. The voice she used when she thought she was being helpful. Dana has the credentials, Marcus. She knows how to scale. You built it beautifully, no one's taking that away from you. But now let someone who knows how to take it to the next level. He looked at Dana. She looked back at him steadily. She didn't apologize. Marcus said, "I'll think about it." Then he drove home. He sat in his car outside his apartment for 40 minutes in the dark. Not crying. Not panicking. Just thinking. And here's the thing about building a company yourself, from nothing, with no help, you know every layer of it. Not just the surface. Not just the pitch deck or the org chart. The actual foundation. The load-bearing walls. The hidden wiring. Marcus knew exactly where Nexlane's real value lived. Not in the office space they were paying too much for. Not in the logo Dana had quietly commissioned a redesign of. Not in the team of consultants she'd brought in. The real value was in three things: the client relationships he had personally built over 5 years, the proprietary workflow software he'd written himself in year 2, and the 6 people on his team who actually made the operation run. Those three things, Marcus could take with him. He moved quietly and methodically over the next 3 weeks. He reached out to each of his 6 core employees individually, outside of work hours, away from company devices. He told them what was happening. He was direct about it. He offered them equity in a new company he was in the process of forming. He told them they didn't owe him anything and he would respect whatever they decided. All 6 said yes within 48 hours. He contacted his 3 major enterprise clients next. 2 of them had worked with Marcus personally since year 1, he was their relationship, their trusted contact. He told them he was moving on and building something new. He asked if they'd come with him. Both agreed without hesitation. The 3rd client requested a meeting. Marcus drove 2 hours to sit across from them for 90 minutes. They listened carefully, asked several sharp questions, and then said yes. He retained a lawyer, a very good one, and made absolutely certain every step he was taking was clean and legal. The workflow software had been built by Marcus before Nexlane even had its first client. It was his intellectual property, predating the company's formation. He had documentation. He transferred the license to his new entity without complication. Then, on a Tuesday morning, Marcus walked into the Nexlane office for the last time. He handed Dana his resignation letter. 1 page. Professional. No personal remarks. Dana looked up from her monitor. She said, "What is this?" Marcus said, "I'm leaving. Good luck with the company." He cleared his desk in 7 minutes. He didn't make eye contact with anyone on the way out, not because he was upset with them, but because he didn't want to make the moment harder. The 6 people he'd already spoken to knew exactly what was happening. Within 10 days, all 6 of them had submitted their own resignations. Within 3 weeks, 2 of the enterprise clients had contacted Nexlane's accounts team to formally dissolve their contracts. The 3rd followed shortly after. The codebase Dana's new hires had been trying to build their systems on was no longer licensed to the company. When they tried to reach Marcus for a licensing arrangement, he didn't respond. Dana called him 6 times in 1 day. His parents left voicemails. His father's message said the plan was never supposed to go this far. His mother said she hoped Marcus understood that everything had been done out of love. That word love sat in his chest like a stone for a few days. Then it slowly dissolved. He didn't call back. Bridgeloop launched 4 months after Marcus walked out. Same clients, same team, same software stack, new name. Within the first year, it had cleared more revenue than Nexlane had ever managed. Within 18 months, they'd added 2 new enterprise accounts and a small acquisition that tripled their software offering. Nexlane did not recover. Dana brought in consultants. She changed the business model twice. She posted thoughtful things on LinkedIn about pivoting through adversity. None of it helped because the company had been hollowed out from the inside, not by Marcus, but by the people who'd tried to replace him. The company filed for dissolution on a Thursday in late spring, about a year and a half after that dinner table document. Marcus heard about it from a former colleague. He read the news, closed the browser tab, and got back to work. He had a full calendar that week. A team that trusted him. Clients who'd followed him across the industry. and an office he'd signed the lease on himself, with his own name, with no asterisks. He'd built Nexlane from a cracked laptop and no one's help. He'd built Bridgeloop with one hand, in the middle of being betrayed by his own family. The second one, he decided, was the better story.